Hello again. So let's get into the assignment. Excuse me. That's a great intro, isn't it? So, when I was going through all of Dr. Viraganta's reading and listened to the lecture and the TED Talk and things like that, I tried to keep on writing notes. I'm like, oh, what's the most important thing? And as I started writing things down, cutting them and pasting them, I'm using OneNote, by the way. Highly recommended. It's free. And it's backed up to the cloud. I was going to say backed up to the climate because I just saw that word. Evernote's a good one too. Or you could just keep it on Google Doc, but it's handy to keep notes because you can start to see trends. But on this, it was, I just, my note taking was really, must have been bad. I couldn't find anything. And it feels like everything is kind of like the same value, almost like looking at a box full of puzzle pieces. You know that you're supposed to get to this final thing that's on the cover of the puzzle, but the pieces, you're just like, oh, I can't make sense of it all. So today we're going to look for the most important thing. We're going to be using library tools for, sometimes they're called scoping reviews. Sometimes it's just kind of doing research just to get a feel for the situation. But what I'd like you to do, oh, by the way, open up Canvas if you haven't, and open up that library assignment. Let's do it together. There's no reason why you should sit through my video first and then do the assignment second. Do it alongside with me and pause and go back and forth. That's what I intend. So you can see there's waste management systems, there's treatment transport, NGOs, welfare, waste management startups, there's recycling, there's local keywords like waste pickers, recycling. There's specific kinds of waste. One of my favorite words, debris. It's more fun. Oh, never mind. I was going to say it's more fun if you mispronounce it, and then other people, oh, it's not pronounced debris, Dale. It's debris. So what do we do with all of this? What I would like you to do is pick a technology or a particular area of waste. So it might be like a landfill. It might be like sewage. It might be air pollution. But pick something from your notes. Maybe even pick a couple of things. And let's go over the catalog. And I want to show you my first library catalog trick. Now, first of all, I'm assuming that at this level of class, you're comfortable with the library catalog and cruising around databases and things like that. But if you ever get to a moment where you're like, I am just in over my head, send me an email. It's my job to help you through stuff like this. And I don't know everyone's status and how they feel with things like this. So reach out. This is not a test. I'm kind of like somebody to help you along as we go. Okay, so having said that, go to the library advanced catalog search because we're not going to look just for anything. We're going to look for books. Books, if you think about something happening, like if you're coming from technology, if you think like graphene or fusion power or some big thing that's happening, there's probably tens of thousands of articles on all of those things. So what we want to do instead is we want to look for the book that they wrote after all those articles were published. And they're going to tell us what the most important things are, right? I mean, that's the theory anyway. So in your library assignment, you're going to pick, let's see, you're going to find a publication either in the library catalog or a database that I'll show you in a minute. And you're going to be looking for something related to technology and waste and India, hopefully, but developing countries, okay. But you're going to go through your notes that you've already taken after watching the lectures and doing the readings. So don't just do it technology and waste in India. Do it something specifically related. So for example, under material type, select books. We want the book that happened after all the articles were written. And from my notes, what should I pick? Oh, inert waste. Do you think I'll do biodegradable wastes? And you can just try keywords until you find a book on something. If it's more than one word, put it in quotes. Otherwise, it'll look for biodegradable here and waste there, and you'll get nothing that we're looking for. And lastly, we want it to be in the title of the book or the subject of the book. Subject and title right next to each other. see if there's any books on biodegradable wastes. We do have almost 4 million books. Surely there's one on biodegradable wastes, isn't there? I'm hoping for 8. There's one. That's better than I thought. How cool is that? Management of urban biodegradable wastes. Okay, case in point. So if you find several, you might have to pick one that's kind of newer than 1996. But this one's actually in print. I'd have to go walk out to the collection. If you want help doing that, I'm happy to help. Or if you come to the library, there's people at the front desk that'll help you. But let me show you a trick. We're not going to read the book. Wouldn't that be a cruel exercise? I'd like you to read one of these books and then give me a report after. It's tea season again. We're just going to look at the table of contents. So we've got this book that probably is like hundreds of pages and probably has lots of diagrams and things like that. But we just want the table of contents. And it doesn't have the table of contents here. So we can go to WorldCat or Amazon. Uh-oh, I might have to pick. All I want is the table of contents, man. And I accidentally picked the one that's in Spanish. Hey, there's the table of contents, and they're not in Spanish. What's up with that, man? Okay, so can you see this? Cruise, you can go to Amazon for table of contents and things like that. So for biodegradable waste, that was my keyword, right? I want to know what the most important things are. If I was going to do an annotated bibliography, I don't know if you're doing something like that in the near future, but I probably want like, well, what are the main categories of thinking about that? So, legislation and regulation, that's one. Local composting and collection, that might be another one. Systems, cases, and trends, that one doesn't really tell me a lot. I'd probably have to read that. There's like health concerns. There's anaerobic processing, which also is called biomass, isn't that? Then there's like criteria for biodegradability. There's oxygen-related processes. Oh, look at that. Product quality. So it's like making a product out of it, which I imagine is like compost or something like that. That's all you have to do is if I wanted to talk about biodegradable waste, what are 3 talking points that I would go into if I wanted to appear competent? Which I probably am not appearing competent right now. I wanted to show you another example. I saw waste picker. Waste picker, that one's really specific. We're not going to find titles with that, so I'm going to go into subject. Again, we're still in books. So before we were kind of looking at maybe like the plant life and biodegradability, and now we're looking at like the social side of things. And even though it's in a different context than India, so life and labor in Rio in Brazil, or here's Beijing, China, you get all these different words for what you're looking for. So if you wanted to know what is it like being a waste picker, or what are the things going on with that? Oh, here we go. There's like a description. That's better. We're just looking for 3 points to share about what that's like. So you can go really big and broad and general, like biodegradable waste, or you can go ultra specific to the quality of something that's going on at a landfill or in a recycling center or something like that. So there's survivability, informal labor practice, consumer expectations, common conceptions of garbage. See, all I need is 3 major concepts that you pick, but you're not pulling them out of your head, you're pulling them out of here, because then what you're also going to do is do an APA citation, which I'm going to look at. I'm going to go in and I'm going to see if I agree with you. How do we do this? So that's looking in books. Obviously, if you find a good book that you really like, you can save it. Oh, I forgot to show you something. APA citation style is not fun. There's a citation generator in the library catalog right here. And looks like it defaults to APA. So for the second thing that we're going to do, that's all I would need. However, that would be a lowercase d. I am persnickety on that, on the APA style. I had to suffer for it, so you get to suffer a little bit too. It's good to be correct in the APA style. For a database, we're going to do Academic Search Ultimate, and you're going to look for an article. And from the first page or so, you're going to try and glean 3 important things about your topic. So I'm going to go pick another topic. Informal recycling. Let's see if I can find something related to that. I'm just grabbing from my notes. When you click on Academic Search Ultimate, you'll go right into the database, but for some reason I have to go a couple of clicks through. I apologize. Okay, if you choose to do an article, which is fun, I expect you to narrow it down a little bit because there's many, 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 many more articles than there are books. So again, I'm doing quote marks because I want informal recycling to stick together. You could do toilets and sustainability. You could make up your own keywords. So there's 91 for this one. For this, I would like you in particular, oh, look at that, India. I would like you in particular to sort by date newest. I don't want something old. Books, it's okay if we get something kind of old, that's all right. But for articles, there's probably been 1 million published already this year. So I'd like you to find one that's published in the last 3 years, 4 years, 5 years. Okay, so, and again, you don't really have to dig in and read the whole article, do you? You just have to look at what they think is the most important thing. So let's look at that first one. Formal or informal recycling sectors. This one's really, 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 really focused. But what you can do is you can read the abstract and you can figure out what matters. So typically in an abstract, they'll say, why am I doing this study in the first place? What problem are we trying to solve? The second one is like, who are the stakeholders that we're looking at? And the third one is, this is the data that we gathered. This is how we gathered it. And the last one might be like a conclusion. That's like 5 different things, and all you need is 3. I would accept this. Management, they are complex adaptive systems with multiple ages, stages, and elements. To say that something is complex is making a statement about something. Fusion power is complex. Picking apples is not. That's okay. But you're using the voice of the authors in here. But please make it something that you understand. So if you're looking at the neglected impact of municipal residents' behavioral decisions, you better be ready for me to say, what the heck does that mean? Do you understand that? So pick something you understand. Oh, formal recycling sectors find it difficult to attract urban residents. So people want to do like the informal recycling instead of the formal, because maybe they're unaware of it. Isn't that cool? All you have to do is just grab these little points. And then APA citation for this one is over here, cite. And APA is in there somewhere. Ooh, they did theirs pretty good. And Bob's your uncle. The critical point that I would like you to be very concerned with is don't do this for arbitrary reasons. Do this for something that you're interested in for the final in this particular class. So if you're not interested in toilets, I don't want to see an article on toilets. I can't judge whether you're going to be doing that, but make sure that you're aligning that your work for Dr. Virganta's class is what you do for the library class, because they're meant to work together, so you don't have to do as much research towards the end. If you find something interesting that you want to save for later, you can email yourself articles, and in the previous interface, you can email yourself links. Save them, take notes, and as you go, you might be able to get this work done a lot quicker than if you formally wait till the end and sit down and try and do this all systematically. So you could do a little piecemeal. Again, contact me. This is not a test. that I am intended to be a partner in this. So as you're working on stuff, let me know how it goes, and I'm happy to help. Have a good weekend or a good week whenever you're watching this.